Elizabeth
Yes.
Bedler.
Ms. Bedler, I have an address for you on Jackson Road in Blanchard. Is that an accurate address?
Yes, Your Honor.
You receive mail at that address?
I do, Your Honor.
I also have a phone number ending in 6292. Is that accurate?
Yes, it is.
Did you have the opportunity to meet with somebody from the defender's office today?
I did.
I have a complaint that alleges that on or about September 30th, 2025 in Cedar Creek Township of Wexford County, it is alleged that you committed the offense of operating while intoxicated as a third offender. That is a felony punishable by up to either 1 year to 5 years in prison or $500 to $5,000 in fines, probation for at least 30 days. I'm sorry. I'm going to start that over. It's worded kind of oddly, so I'm going to start over. It's a felony punishable by $500 to $5,000 and either 1 year to 5 years in prison or probation with 30 days to 1 year in jail, at least 48 hours to be served consecutively, and 60 to 180 days community service, rehabilitative programs, cost of reimbursement for governmental expenses, and the cost of prosecution, and possible vehicle immobilization. Do you understand those charges and the potential penalties?
I do.
On felony complaints, you have certain rights. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or write can and will be used against you. You also have the right to be represented by an attorney during any questioning that you consent to, and you have the right to stop answering questions at any time. You also have the right to be represented by an attorney at all phases throughout this process, and if you could not afford one would be appointed to represent you at public expense, but you may be required to repay a portion of that expense. Do you understand that?
I do.
Today, do you plan to hire an attorney, represent yourself, or request the appointment of an attorney?
Currently, I would like to be appointed an attorney, please.
What is your current source of income?
I have been looking for jobs for about a month now. I don't have a job.
All right, court will make a referral to the public defender's office for the appointment of an attorney. We'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, and we'll set the matter for a preliminary examination. That's a hearing that's held here in the district court within 21 days. At that hearing, the prosecution will be required to prove two things. One, probable cause that the crime had occurred, and two, probable cause that you were the person who committed the offense. If the prosecution is not able to do that, the case would be dismissed. But if they are able to do that, you'd be ordered to bound over and stand trial in circuit court. Do you understand that?
Thank you.
Prior to the preliminary examination, there'll be a probable cause conference. That's where your attorney and the prosecutor will get together to see if there's a way to resolve the case short of going to trial. You also have the right to have a bond set. Your bond is based upon the probability of you appearing at future court appointments, the seriousness of the offense charged, and the threat that you pose to the public. But historically, counsel, I show in 19 a jostling charge down from a domestic, in 25 an operating while intoxicated, in 24 disorderly in Ohio, in 07 an MIP of alcohol, 07 a violation of license restrictions, in 22 a disturbing the peace, again down from the domestic, and in 25 an operating while intoxicated. Ms. Bedler, are you now off probation on that latest OWI?
Yes, Your Honor.
And how long have you been off probation?
I guess three months.
Oh, three months. All right, so you completed that early.
It was in December of 2024, Your Honor. So I was
lien shows that you were sentenced to 6 months probation. So if you've been done for 3 months, you must have got released early.
I did jail time, Your Honor.
Oh, it was terminated. All right. Okay, thank you. Any comment regarding bond from the defender's office?
Yes, Your Honor. The defendant does live about an hour away, but I do think that she would appear for court as ordered. She takes the charge seriously. I do recognize the criminal history and the recentness of the previous OWI charge, but I think that with some heavier restrictions like a daily blow device or just heavy terms of bond, that she can be supervised, and I would ask for a personal recognizance bond. Thank you.
Thank you. Prosecutor's office?
Thank you, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I do not have a police report yet, so I am limited in my facts. I do know this occurred on US 131, and a PBT was done at the jail, which came back at a .162. Given the fact this is her third OWI in just the last couple of years, I do think there is a big concern for public safety in this case. I do think a monetary bond would be appropriate. I will leave that up to the discretion of the court. I am also going to ask for daily alcohol testing, given this is now the second OWI within the last year. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you know what brought her to the attention of law enforcement?
I believe she was parked on the side of US 131. I do know that it looks like this affidavit was an assist to a motorist, which brought the attention to the vehicle, and the defendant had admitted to operating the vehicle as well as consuming alcohol before.
All right, thank you. I should have stated that I have received the praxis. It scores her at a risk level 3, so medium risk. I believe that was scored appropriately. Ms. Bedler, as a condition of your bond, you are to appear as ordered, keep your contact information current, not leave the state without permission, and to commit no new crimes. I'm also ordering that you not consume any alcohol, given that this is a third drunk driving, and you've just recently been convicted of another drunk driving. I believe daily alcohol testing is going to be appropriate. I'm also going to order that you not consume any illegal controlled substances, including recreational marijuana, and you'll be subject to random testing for that. I don't want one substance being traded for another. In regards to your bond, I believe that these conditions will help with any concerns that the court has, so I will release you on a personal recognizance bond. That's your promise to come back to court. When you are released from jail, you need to come over here to the Community Corrections Office and get signed up for testing here at the courthouse. All right. All right. Thank you, jail.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Your Honor. Mark Mitchell, Cadillac, Michigan, appearing on behalf of defendant.
All right. And we're reconvened from being here this morning for the defendant to get his fingerprints taken. I'm assuming you got those prints taken?
Yes, sir.
Did they give you a TCN number by chance?
We did get it put in.
Oh, we
already.
got it.
Yep,
All right.
We ran it. and it's
Never
in.
mind, we got it.
Okay, thank you.
So it's my understanding we have a plea in this case to the driving while license suspended as a misdemeanor and a responsible plea to the civil infraction of texting while driving. Is that accurate still?
Yes, sir. That's correct, Your Honor.
All right.
2 matters would be dismissed.
Yes, the fail to report the accident and the driving while license suspended second will be dismissed.
That's our understanding. Thank you, Your Honor.
And sir, that's your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, sir.
All right, will you please raise your right hand? You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
So it's my understanding that you will be pleading guilty to a driving while license suspended first, which is a 93-day misdemeanor and a fine of up to $500. Additionally, you'll be pleading responsible to texting while driving, which is a civil infraction with a $200 fine. In exchange for that, the 1-year misdemeanor of driving license suspended, denied or revoked as a second offender will be dismissed, along with the fail to report an accident, which is a 90-day misdemeanor. Is that your full understanding of the plea agreement?
Yes, sir.
Back on May 22nd of this year, were you on probation or parole?
No, I was not.
Were you on bond?
No, I was not.
And I remember going through the advice and rights with you at arraignment. Did you understand those rights?
Yes, I did, sir.
Did you have any questions for me about those rights?
No.
Most importantly, do you understand that you have a right to a jury trial and that by entering a guilty plea today, you'll be giving up that right and won't have a trial of any kind?
Yes, I do.
Other than the plea agreement, has anybody promised you anything in order to get you to plea?
No, sir.
Has anybody threatened you in any way?
No, sir.
And is it your own free choice to plea today?
Yes, sir.
Are counsel aware of any other promises, threats, or inducements not made part of the record?
I am not, Your Honor.
Then, sir, to the allegation that on or about May 22nd, 2025, while in Springville Township of Wexford County, how do you plead to driving while your license was suspended?
Guilty?
And to the civil infraction of texting while driving, do you plead responsible or not responsible?
Responsible.
In order to accept that plea, I must have you tell me what it is that makes you guilty. So were you operating a motor vehicle on May 22nd?
I was.
And that was in Springville Township?
Yes, I was.
And is it true that your license had been suspended, denied, or revoked?
Excuse me?
Is it true that your license had been suspended, denied, or revoked?
Yes.
And were you aware of that?
Yes, I was.
And is it also true that you were texting while driving?
Yes, I was.
Do you counsel believe the defendants provided the factual basis in which to accept the plea and that the court rules have been complied with?
I do.
I do, Your Honor.
As does the court, I find the plea is knowing, voluntary, and accurate, so I find you guilty of driving while license suspended first and responsible for texting while driving. Mr. Mitchell, any allocution?
Thank you, Your Honor. My client is 47 years old. He's been married for approximately 18 years old. He's two daughters. He's a 1997 high school graduate. He attended Central Michigan University for 5 years. He became a fishing guide and developed that skill, and he's been working as a guide in Alaska for approximately the last 18 years for 5 or 6 months a year. And at other times, he's at his main home here in Buckley, Michigan area, and he guides out of the Michigan area when he's in Michigan. He understands that he used bad judgment and he regrets this. It's caused several problems for him, and he has reassessed how he would handle this in the future. We request the court consider fines and costs in this matter. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Carey?
Thank you. This involved a crash. He crashed and then was picked up from the scene and drove away. And there was a witness on the scene who stated that the defendant was on his phone when he crashed and appeared to be intoxicated, which is always our concern when people leave the scene, which he did. So I think there are, and I'm not sure, I'm trying to figure out in reading this was Mr. Karn's case. Time between if they had contact with him. They did, but I can't tell when in relation to the time of the accident. It looks like I don't know when. It's not. Yeah, I know, but that doesn't make sense.
So there's 2 times given.
Yeah, just doesn't, but that one's before the time given.
Well, this one's 17:45. This one's 16:50.
Maybe an hour, 45 minutes, maybe. I'm still not sure of that, but anyway, so that's a concern. It wasn't just for a traffic offense and didn't have a license. He was in an accident and left the scene. And I know that Mr. Carnes dismissed that portion of it, but I think it's relevant to the whole scenario. And I would ask that you sentence him accordingly. Thank you.
Was it a single car accident?
It appears so.
All right. Sir, you had the right to address the court prior to sentencing. Is there anything you'd like me to know?
When the officers came to my house, I offered to blow for them and prove that I wasn't on alcohol. It wasn't. It never happened. I wish it would have, because I was not intoxicated at that point in time. It was some mid-afternoon, and I was getting dinner from my family. And I left the scene to call a tow truck because I didn't want to get in trouble for driving while suspended, not because anything else.
And how was it that you were in an accident?
It was a sharp, steep turn going down the Manistee River. And I looked down at my phone briefly, and it's a sharp pitch. And I just slid over to the side, on the side of my car, going about 15 miles an hour. I made a horrible mistake by taking my eyes off the road and looking at my phone.
Was there damage done to the vehicle?
Yes,
How much?
the whole side is the front corner panel, the door, and I just thought I could call it. I wasn't involved with anybody else. I just called the tow truck.
What type of vehicle is it?
Chevy Tahoe,
So what did you hit?
the side of the ditch. It's like a paved
Did
like
it roll?
ditch. Yeah, I just, as the road turned, that was the moment when I looked down at my phone and I went off the side of the road.
Okay, but did the vehicle roll onto its side?
Not completely, like it wasn't like a rollover. It was like, I almost like tipped on its side. I just couldn't back out. It was like high centered on the concrete.
So was there an embankment that you were up against?
Yeah, it's like the water treatment center, and then the road turns, and then the ditch is paved. Probably for some water quality issues to prevent runoff going into the river, if I had any guess. Because that's mainly why they do that. So the steepness of the road and the ditch, there was just no way I could like put the car in reverse and drive on.
Is there anything else you'd like me to know? Do you know what you need to do in order to get your license back?
Yes, I do, sir. Or I've been heavily researching it for a while, and the most disappointing thing about this is when I came back from Alaska with adequate funds, I was completely planning on starting that process over again for this fall, and that's one of the most disappointing things about this, because I have to start over for a year, without having a license, and I was really looking forward to beginning that process as we speak.
Why was
Now
it
I'm set
suspended?
back a year. Why was it suspended? Because after sobriety court, I went to Alaska, and then the car died. My wife couldn't take it to the interlock shop, and then she jump started it, and it said all kinds of, like I was tampering with it, and then they revoked me. And then 2020 happened, and I don't know, it just kind of slipped away. And then it became financially overwhelming again.
I will note too, Your Honor, both he and his wife initially told officers that she was driving. They didn't want him to get in trouble for this, which is also a concern.
Anything else you'd like me to know?
I completely regret the decisions that I made.
All right, there will be a $75 Crime Victims' Rights Fund fee, $50 state minimum fee, $250 fine, $150 court costs. Mr. Mitchell, you retain, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
I hesitate because You weren't supposed to be driving. It sounds like you did everything you could do to cover up the fact that you were driving. How, Ms. Carey, how, never mind, I won't ask the question. And this is your second driving license suspended, is that correct?
That's correct, sir.
Your last one being in 21?
I believe,
Okay.
I don't know.
Does that sound right?
That sounds correct, yes. And, yeah. That's why this year I wanted to start the process again.
By all accounts, I should put you in jail, but I think as crazy as this is gonna sound, this is only your second driving license suspended. As crazy as that sounds. But recently, the courts have changed the ways we can lock people up for driving a license suspended but I will tell you one thing, if you get another one, that's probably where you're gonna be. Any balance that remains unpaid for more than 56 days will have a 20% penalty assessed to it. You can go out to the front window where you checked in, get a copy of your judgment, make a payment if you're able to. If not, get set up on a payment plan. Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
I just have.
Okay. Mr. Green, I'll turn back to you. Do we have a resolution in this, at least your two cases?
I believe so, Your Honor. My client still wishes to take advantage of the offer put forth by the prosecution after we've clarified it. We would like to place on the record, while statute will allow for restitution, we do want to note that the merchandise did not leave the store. So in terms of it actually being taken, it was never taken. I understand statute requires or can ask for restitution, but just I want to put that on the record, sir.
There is a report from Walmart that says no merchandise was recovered in one of 3304.
Okay, I was misinformed, Your Honor. I apologize.
I'm just telling you, that's what the report says. I have to go by that.
Oh, I understand. I understand, Counselor. I was misinformed. I apologize to the court.
So, Ms. Carey, in which case is he pleading to? 3304. Restitution in both and dismiss the other case, the other retail fraud case. All right. Mr. Haynes, have you heard what the attorneys have said the resolution, these two retail fraud cases are?
Yes.
And is that how you wish to resolve them?
Yes.
Are you sure about that? All right. Counsel, what I'm going to do is, because I don't want to push this matter and I feel as though there's been enough confusion. Mr. Haynes appears to be confused. Is that the case?
No, it was just talking about, I just asked about restitution.
Restitution in what? So do you wish to still take advantage of the plea agreements?
Yes.
So it's my understanding that in 3304, you'll be pleading as charged to retail fraud second degree. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year in jail and or a fine of $2,000 or 3 times the value of the property taken. In exchange for that plea, the people will be dismissing the retail fraud second degree in case number 253303 SM. However, there's an agreement for restitution to be paid in both. In the file you're pleading to, it would be $374. In the file that's being dismissed, it's $4.97 for a total of $378.97. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you agree to pay that restitution?
Yes, my family, my parents are here and they posted bond for me. And I was wondering, we take that 300 they post for bond and add to it, and then Bring up to 97 today, have fully paid off.
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it, okay? All right. Ms. Carey, have I stated that agreement accurately?
Did.
Mr. Green?
I believe so, sir. Yes.
All right. Mr. Haynes, will you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So we just went through that plea agreement, and I know you have a question about the posting of the bond. Like I said, I'll answer that in a moment. But do you have any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
Other than the plea agreement, has anybody promised you anything in order to get you to plea?
No, Your Honor.
Has anybody threatened you in any way?
No, Your Honor.
And is it your own free choice to plea?
Yes.
Back on April 25th of this year, were you on probation or parole?
No, Your Honor.
Were you on bond?
No, Your Honor. No, Your Honor.
Do you remember reading and signing this advice of rights form, talk about your rights to an attorney and your rights to a trial? Most importantly, do you understand that you have a right to a jury trial and that by entering a guilty plea, you'll be giving up that right and you won't have a trial of any kind? Do you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are counsel aware of any other promises, threats, or inducements not made part of the record?
I'm not.
Mr. Green, are you aware of any other promises, threats, or inducements?
No, sir, I'm not, Your Honor.
All right. Then Mr. Haynes, to the allegation that on or about August 25th of 2025 in Herring Township of Wexford County, how do you plead to committed the offense of retail fraud second degree while at Walmart? In order to accept that plea, I must have you tell me what it is that makes you guilty. So were you in Walmart back on April 25th?
Yes.
And would you agree with me that that's in Herring Township of Wexford County on the north end of Cadillac? And while at that store, did you either steal or attempt to steal some items from the store?
Yes.
Did those items have a value of $200 but less than $1,000?
Yeah.
What is it that you took or tried to take?
They said I didn't, I took a power washer, but at the same time I bought a generator. I guess the scanner didn't scan or something, I don't know, but yeah, I wasn't on a receipt, so yes. I asked to pay for it, he said, no, set it by my feet, I did, and I left.
So you bought a generator and thought you scanned a power washer?
No, I bought a generator.
Yep.
And I thought the scanner went off with the power washer, but it didn't.
Okay, so you
So
bought
did
you bought two items that day?
Yeah, one went through, the other,
All right.
so, yeah.
And so when your bill came up at least $200
Oh, it
less.
was more than that. I mean, I had groceries,
Okay,
so it was,
but the power washer wasn't on the bill.
I don't look at the receipt.
Okay, but you know how much the total bill came to, right? I mean, you might not remember today, but
Yes.
because you paid for some of
I
the
did look at the
items.
receipt with the guy and it was not on there. So one time I asked paperwork, he said, no, you didn't put that.
So when the total came up at least $200 short, that didn't ring a bell?
You know, like I said, I was doing groceries at the same time. I mean, the bill was over 800 or something, with food stamps and all that, so it was just, we were scanning, you know, getting through. So. And the bill seemed high, I mean, we got 6 kids, so.
Counsel, I can't accept the plea. There's no showing of intent.
Understood, Your Honor.
It wasn't on the receipt. I didn't know that we were paid for it.
All right.
There's,
So that brings us to, and Mr. Haynes, I realize you have some frustration, but there's a certain way in which I have to be able to accept the plea. One is that I have to be convinced that this wasn't a mistake, that you intentionally attempted to take an item without paying for it. And the way it was described to me is that wasn't the intent, because you said you scanned it, but it didn't ring up and it never clicked with you
But I
that,
did pass
that
the
you're,
register or whatever.
I get that. But there's no demonstration of intent to steal the item. You may not have paid for it, but the allocution that you gave me today.
I didn't even make the beepers.
Okay. All right, so I'm not able to accept that plea. So that brings us to the show cause for the fail to appear for final pretrials. Counsel, what are we doing with those today? Or final pretrial and pretrial?
Your Honor, in speaking with my client, he says that he had some car problems which prohibited him from making it to those scheduled events. That is what he relayed to me, sir.
Ms. O'Mara, have you talked to him about that?
Sorry, what did you say?
Have you talked to him about how to resolve the show cause in your file?
Yes, I also was under the impression he intended to make an admission.
All right. And he looks,
Not a mission. I mean,
so
Go
basically,
ahead, is what I'm-
so basically what the attorneys are saying is, and Mr. Green, correct me if I'm wrong on your case, but is essentially that you agree to plea that you weren't here
Yes,
on the 18th of September,
yes, sir.
but you have an explanation to go along with it.
Yes,
All right. And is that your intent to do that today?
yes, is the
All right.
reason why.
All right. So then to the allegation that you failed to appear for final pretrials in the retail fraud cases and a pretrial in the malicious use of a telecommunications case, how do you plead? You guilty? All right. Did you know that you were supposed to appear that day?
Yes, Your Honor, I bonded out to court on, parents used a little bit of money they had to buy me out, $300. When we bond out, I came straight to court, seeing you, I went out there, got my paperwork, we didn't make it, but 5 miles on the highway home, and my parents' vehicle blew up. We ended up walking, I left the paperwork in the door, so I was sitting in the back seat. Truck got impounded, as of now, my parents still here, it's still impounded, court papers are still in there, I figured I'd get something in the mail. Only thing I got in the mail was today, Your Honor, show cause, and I tried calling my attorney, no answer. I touched base with him to, because like I said, I don't miss court ever, and it was just, I got a lot going on, CPS as well, and the truck was still, they had Peterson's and my court papers and everything, so I was thinking I did something in mail, which I did, to show up for court, Your Honor. So it wasn't on attention purpose or anything like that. It was, we ended up walking from past Manton exit all the way halfway to Beacon and Bridge that day.
Up to Fife Lake?
Yes, Your Honor. My parents are here to verify that we're still fighting to get a vehicle due to we're on disability, so right now I went out and got a loan, got a new truck, so there's no miscommunication on being here, Your Honor.
All right. I do find that that you failed to appear for the show call, for the final pretrial and the pretrials. Ms. Carey, do you have any objection to continuing bond?
I don't.
Counsel, I assume neither of you have an objection to that, correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Haynes, I'm going to allow you to continue on your current bonds as previously set. I do believe that you have a viable reason for not being here. So I'll need you to go out to the front windows where you checked in, get copies of your next court dates. All right. And then make sure that you stay in touch with your attorneys. All right. All right. Thank you.
Mr. Green, for your information, both cases involve a power washer.
Oh,
No, sir, I don't want you to say anything about the case. All
I'm just
right.
saying.
Because the minute you say something that can be used against you, and I don't want you to say anything. So you can talk to your attorneys about that. That'd be Mr. Green, you're just filling in today, correct?
I'm standing in for Ms. Standard, but I will relay the message to her and obviously tell her to reach out to the prosecution, Your Honor, as well as her client, of course.
And I assume Ms. Standard would have his number as well.
Yes, and if not, obviously I've spoken with her over the phone. I will forward the number to her just to make sure, Your Honor.
Okay, all right, sounds good. Thank you. Anything else for the record?
No, sir.
All right, we are adjourned.